The former police officer charged with the murder of George Floyd in Minneapolis won't be taking the stand on the final day of evidence at his trial. Derek Chauvin said he would use his right to refuse to answer questions that could incriminate him. He denies killing Mr. Floyd by kneeling on his neck. Our correspondent Barbara Plett-Usher reports now from Minneapolis.
This was the first time in nearly 3 weeks of evidence that Derek Chauvin spoke in the courtroom. Up to the last minute, there was speculation about whether he would testify.
Have you made a decision today whether you intend to testify or whether you intend to invoke your Fifth Amendment privilege?
I will invoke my Fifth Amendment privilege today.
The decision whether or not to testify, let me take this off, is entirely yours. Is this your decision not to testify?
It is, Your Honor.
All right.
Taking the stand would have been the only way for Mr. Chauvin to tell his side of the story about this video. The defense argued that his knee was not the main cause of George Floyd's death. But it would have opened him up to cross-examination by the prosecution, and he decided the risk was too great. Just a few miles away, another former police officer, Kim Potter, appeared in court, charged with manslaughter for shooting a young black man at the weekend. That sparked an explosion of anger in a city already on edge. There have been 4 nights now of unrest. The claim that she confused her gun for her taser has not calmed the protesters. What they see is a black man pulled over for a minor offense who ended up dead. They're demanding more serious charges.
These protests are about one police shooting, about the killing of a person, an unarmed black man. But like all the others we've seen over the past year, they're just as much about a justice system that's seen to be tilted against black people.
What you got these guns for?
As the trial winds down, tensions are growing. Security has been tightened. Protests that followed George Floyd's death led to widespread looting and arson. The city is fortifying itself for the verdict.
Jurors will withdraw to consider the verdict on Monday after closing arguments, and they have to stay together until they reach a decision, and it has to be unanimous. The judge told them to pack a bag, to plan for long, and to hope for short. And remember that the defense did not have to prove that Derek Chauvin was innocent. It simply had to raise enough doubt in the mind of even one juror that Derek Chauvin was not the main cause of Mr. Floyd's death, and it is argued that drugs and a bad heart were mostly to blame, Clive.
Barbara, thank you for that. Barbara Plett-Usher there in Minneapolis.